McDonald's, by the way, is pledging to up their game by making, quote, tasty improvements to some of their iconic burgers.
What are you doing?
According to the company, the Big Mac, McDouble cheeseburger, and hamburger will all be undergoing changes. Come on. Among them, a better sear on each burger patty and a softer, more pillowy bun. That actually sounds pretty good.
Come on. There's just some things you can't improve on. Like our next guest, Donny Deutsch. Brand up, brand down.
Look at that
Donny Deutsch right now. It begins with McDonald's biggest competitor, Burger King. Donny, first of all, let me just say, McDonald's, you don't improve on perfection.
Make it more healthy.
I don't know what they're doing here. This is what Coke tried to do in the 1980s. Yeah. It didn't end up well.
Well, that's kind of a perfect lead-in because Burger King is actually staying true to who they are. Burger King, they're having kind of a Whopper resurgence. Sales are up 5% because they've done a very successful campaign of Have It Your Way. We brought the jingle back. It's called Reclaim the Flame. They're giving out little crowns to kids. I myself like the crowns. But they're going, I did this a few weeks ago when I talked about the Army where they went back to Be All You Can Be. Sometimes you have it right in the first place. Going back to authenticity works for Burger King.
Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Special orders, Donny.
All right.
There you go, brother.
All we ask is that you let us have it your way. Red State colleges.
We've talked so much about the effect of the overturn of Roe on politics, and obviously on women's health, but it's having tremendous effect not only in business but in colleges. That they're showing that a survey of people applying to college that 60% are saying they're really considering the women's reproductive laws in the state before they choose a college, and over 70% who are already in colleges are rethinking based on the reproductive law in various states. So we're tremendous widespread implications for overturn of Roe. We're seeing it even in studying.
Donny, Gen Z, an entire generation. Brand up or brand down?
Yeah, I like to kick. This generation gets whacked on this segment a lot. Here's what it is. When you go for a job, and this is coming from Lafayette, LaSalle Recruiting Services, big survey, that Gen Zers expect to get a promotion within their first year on the job. Now, traditionally, you get a promotion within the first 2 or 3 years. This is the entitled generation. This is the problem with young people today. I sound like a crusty old person. I'm just reporting the facts, though.
They'll get off your lawn, Donny. Don't worry. Brand down, retirement. Tell us why.
Yeah, really what happened last year, most people's 401ks went down by 25%, and 52% of Americans now are not prepared for retirement. And on top of that, 35% of Americans who are between the ages of 18 and 35 have completely put off any saving, any retirement. We are not set up for retirement. Most of this country is not ready at this point.
Let's talk about woke ideology. I think, again, talking about crusty old men, this is not a surprise. You say brand down. Why?
Yeah, this is, or if you're silly Republicans, brand up. This is amazing. A majority of Republicans, a strong majority, think that we're fighting woke ideology in businesses and in sports and all the places is more important than fighting cuts in entitlements, than fighting cuts in Medicare and Social Security. I want to say that again. More important to them fighting trans athletes than protecting their Social Security. And this is why we see every Republican candidate running to it. It's not going to work in a general election, but in the narrow world of echo chamber politics, this is what matters most. And it's frightening. It really is.
While we're at it, Bud Light, brand down.
So much talk about Bud Light and their social media post with a transgender influencer, and they got so much bunk from it. But here's the real. I want to do a little math for you. People identify themselves as trans in this country is 1.5 million, about 0.5% of the country. If you think about the fact that Budweiser spends $1.5 billion in advertising, $100 million on Bud Light, they're targeting, if you say the cost of a media post is $10,000, 0.0000001% of their media budget at this, and they're still taking bunk from it. It's just called target marketing. They're allowed to target a specific sliver of an audience, and they're actually undelivering against this audience. That's the irony of this whole thing. They're not not running a Super Bowl ad. It's a very targeted, minuscule thing. They're allowed to do that. And I have a feeling the first time Bud showed an African-American in an ad or a gay in an ad, they got the same bunk.
So Donny just announced a few days ago the Oakland A's owner, who frankly doesn't spend on his team or is moving. They want to move to Las Vegas. And sadly for that California city, this just continues a trend.
Yeah, an empathetic brand down for Oakland.
Yeah.
I mean, they've lost the Raiders. Now they're losing the A's. They lost the Warriors, although they didn't leave completely town. They went to San Francisco. And the team is 3-16. They average 11,000 in attendance. So a very, very empathetic,
that's a good
caring brand down for Oakland.
Yeah, I feel bad.
That's sad.
Okay, all
sad
right.
news.
Final note.
I loved the A's and the Raiders.
Got to go
Oakland.
quick. Brand up. Dog restaurant.
What?
Yes,
Donny.
this is for you, Mika. You've got restaurants popping up all over the country. There's one in San Francisco called Dogue, rhymes with Vogue, specifically targeted at dogs. You go in there, you get a cake for your dog, and a lot of restaurants have, like they have kids menus now, they have doggy menus, so you can bring your dog, special rice, special steak. The world is just spun off its axis, Joe.
Wow.
I love it. Donny Deutsch, thank you so much. And by the way,